Beloved chosen one, stop for a moment. Heaven has paused everything around you because this message is not an accident, it is divine interception. You have fought, struggled, and carried the weight of 1,000 storms. But now, heaven whispers your name enough. You have done all you could, and now the voice that spoke creation itself leans close and says, "Let me take over." You feel it, the trembling in your soul, the ache in your chest from trying to hold everything together while silently breaking. Heaven saw every tear that fell when no one else did. Every night you wondered if God had forgotten your name. Yet here, in this sacred moment, heaven interrupts your despair to declare a shift. The battle you thought was yours to fight has always belonged to the Lord. It is written in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That stillness isn't weakness. It's surrender, and surrender is the highest act of trust. You were never meant to carry the weight of every decision, every outcome, every heartbreak. Heaven is saying, stop trying to fix what only divine hands can mend. Every time you've whispered, "I can't do this anymore," heaven replied, "That's where I begin." Listen closely. Chosen one, you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are simply at the end of your strength, the perfect place for divine strength to begin. You were never meant to win by force, but by faith. The season of striving is closing, and the season of surrender is opening. When you stop fighting for control, you will witness miracles that no effort could ever produce. There are doors that refuse to open, not because heaven is silent, but because heaven is saying, "That is my door to open, not yours." You have prayed, fasted, and done everything right, and yet, God is not asking for more of your doing. He's asking for more of your resting. This is not a message of defeat. This is your invitation to shift from striving to resting, from forcing to flowing. Heaven has spoken your release. The Lord Himself says, "Be still," not because there's nothing left to do, but because everything that needed to be done is now in His hands. Look at your journey, every loss, every unanswered prayer, every moment that didn't make sense. None of it was wasted. While you thought silence meant absence, heaven was constructing deliverance. While you cried over closed doors, angels were positioning you before the right ones. You are not being abandoned, you are being repositioned. The storm that tried to drown you will carry your testimony. The pain that once paralyzed you will soon become the platform for your purpose. Heaven has not forgotten how to finish what it starts, and it has started something divine inside you. So breathe, chosen one. Lay down your sword, not in defeat, but in faith. The season of exhaustion is ending. The hand of God is moving where your hands can no longer reach. You will soon see things shifting, people appearing, opportunities rising. That is not coincidence. That is divine orchestration. Heaven has spoken over you. You've done enough. Now watch what I can do. And when you finally stop striving, you will realize that rest is not the absence of motion. It's the alignment of motion with divine will. Heaven is not asking you to quit. It's asking you to trust. If this message resonates in your spirit, don't scroll away. Heaven chose this moment to tell you it's time to rest in me. Now, chosen one, take a prophetic step of agreement. If this word stirs in your heart, type this in the comments right now, 7 from 7, I let heaven take over. And if this message reached your spirit, like, share, and subscribe so that heaven's word can reach others still fighting battles they were never meant to fight alone. The world needs to hear what heaven is saying. You've done enough. Let me take over. Chosen one. Heaven has been watching the struggle within you, the endless cycle of effort, disappointment, and the quiet question that echoes in your chest. Why isn't it working? You've prayed with tears, spoken faith through trembling lips, and yet the walls remained. You thought it was punishment, but heaven whispers it was protection. Heaven interrupted your plans not to deny you, but to defend you. The doors that stayed closed were not locked to harm you. They were sealed to redirect you. The delay was divine, a mercy disguised as frustration. Every time you cried, "Lord, why can't I move forward?" heaven answered, "Because I'm moving things for you that you cannot see." You see, chosen one. Heaven sometimes blocks what you want to make room for what you're called to. The delay is not denial, it is divine choreography. What looked like silence was strategy. What looked like rejection was redirection. And though you didn't know it, heaven was holding your heart still so that divine timing could catch up with your obedience. The Word of God declares in the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 9, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." This is what you must understand. Every unanswered prayer was answered differently. Heaven never ignored you. It simply chose a better route. Sometimes, God allows you to hit walls because the wall is a form of guidance. If you had continued through every open path, you would have walked into traps prepared by those who never had your destiny in mind. Heaven's pause saved you from premature access. You are being prepared for something far greater than what your mind imagined. Heaven has been adjusting your surroundings, trimming away distractions, and removing what looked stable but was secretly sabotaging your peace. You call it loss. Heaven calls it pruning. And though the pruning hurts, remember, fruit never comes without cutting. The parts of your life that have been stripped away were not wasted. They created room for new growth. You are not empty. You are being made ready. There were nights heaven stood silent while you begged for answers. Not because you were forgotten, but because heaven was forming your foundation. Sometimes the silence of God is the sound of construction. Every unanswered question was a brick being laid for something eternal. You weren't being punished, you were being positioned. Chosen one. Heaven saw the moment your heart broke, and yet heaven did not rush to fix it. Why? Because heaven wanted you to see what was fragile, what couldn't stand the weight of your future. Some relationships ended because heaven said, "You cannot bring that into the promise." Some opportunities faded because heaven said, "You're not meant to chase this one, it will chase you when it's time." You have been walking through divine restraint. Every no you've heard was a not yet. Every delay was a doorway being carved, not closed. Heaven's timing has been molding your patience into power. The very things you begged to happen sooner would have crushed you if they came before you were ready. Now, something shifts. The pieces that once scattered are beginning to align. The very doors that refuse to open will soon swing wide, not by your effort, but by heaven's command. The walls that once resisted will bow, because the timing of heaven carries authority that cannot be resisted. And when that moment comes, you'll look back and say, "Now I understand the pauses, the denials, the heartbreaks, they were all heaven's interventions." You didn't fail. You were shielded. The path that seemed empty was crowded with angels clearing the way. So, do not despise the season of waiting. Do not curse the pause. Heaven's interruptions are divine rescues. You are being lifted above what you once chased, elevated to what you once prayed for. What felt like loss was preservation. What felt like delay was alignment. Chosen one. Heaven has spoken. The storm did not come to destroy you, but to direct you. The walls that blocked you were not your end. They were heaven's arms keeping you safe until it was time. The shift is near, and when heaven moves, everything that resisted will suddenly make sense. Chosen one. There comes a moment when heaven holds a mirror to your soul and reveals the truth you've been carrying, burdens that were never assigned to you. You've tried to fix people who were never yours to heal, tried to hold together seasons that heaven already ended. You've prayed for peace, but refused to release the pieces that stole it. And now, heaven speaks firmly but gently. Lay it down. Every sleepless night, every heavy sigh, every quiet frustration has been heard in heaven's courts. You've asked, why does it feel like nothing is working? But heaven whispers, because you're still holding what I told you to hand over. The breakthrough isn't waiting for more effort, it's waiting for your surrender. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. That verse isn't just comfort, it's instruction. It means you are not the architect of your destiny. Heaven already drew the blueprint. Every time you fight to make things happen your way, you pull against the divine design. But every time you yield, heaven accelerates what you could never force. Listen, chosen one. The weight you carry was never proof of strength, it was proof of control. And control, even when dressed in good intentions, becomes a thief of peace. Heaven cannot fill what your hands won't empty. The Lord cannot reign in spaces you still manage. There is a difference between perseverance and possession. Perseverance is trusting through process. Possession is refusing to release. You've persevered long enough now, heaven calls you to release. Because only in release does resurrection happen. Think of it, even Jesus in Gethsemane had to release his will before the cross could redeem the world. He said, "Not my will, but yours be done." And at that moment, the greatest victory in eternity began. The same principle applies to you. What you're willing to release is exactly what heaven is ready to resurrect. The heaviness you feel isn't punishment. It's divine pressure pushing you toward surrender. Heaven has been whispering, stop carrying it. The relationship that drains you, the dream that keeps collapsing, the expectation that keeps breaking your heart. Heaven isn't asking you to destroy it, just to release it. Because when you let go, heaven takes over. You may ask, but if I stop holding it, what if everything falls apart? The truth is, it might. But only what isn't meant for your next season will crumble. What's divine will stand, even in stillness. That's the mystery of trust, letting go and watching what remains. You will never lose anything that heaven intends to keep. Release is not loss, it's alignment. When you let go, you give heaven permission to return only what's meant for you. And when it returns, it comes refined, healthier, holier, and more stable than before. So stop fighting battles heaven already won. Stop carrying weights heaven already lifted. The exhaustion you feel is the proof that you've been trying to play the role of the one who never needed help. Heaven does not need your control, it needs your consent. This is the sacred turning point. Your surrender is your power. Heaven isn't looking for effort, heaven is looking for yes. Every time you say yes to release, the Spirit moves faster than time itself. Right now, chosen one, heaven stands ready to replace your weariness with wonder. But it begins when you open your hands and say, I trust you. Let that be your declaration, even through tears, because the moment you release it, heaven will reveal why it had to happen this way. If this word pierces your heart, make a prophetic declaration in the comments right now. Just type, I release it. It's simple, but it's sacred. Those 3 words are not just text on a screen. They're a transaction in the spirit realm. When you type them, you're telling heaven, I am ready for your hands to take what mine can no longer hold. Chosen one, heaven has spoken clearly. The season of carrying ends and the season of releasing begins. And from this day forward, you will no longer live in exhaustion, but in divine ease. Chosen one, there comes a time when heaven no longer waits for your strength to rise. It simply steps into the battle on your behalf. You've fought long enough. You've cried, fasted, spoken faith through trembling lips, and still felt surrounded by the enemy's shadows. But what you didn't see was that while you were fighting on your knees, heaven was unsheathing its sword. The heavens are not silent, though you felt alone. Even when your prayers seemed to fade into the dark, the response had already been released. Sometimes, God waits until the moment you surrender to reveal that the armies of heaven were never late. They were simply waiting for your permission to move. When you said, "Lord, I can't," heaven replied, "Now watch me." As the prophet wrote in the second book of Chronicles, chapter 20, verse 15. Do not be afraid or discouraged because of this vast army, for the battle is not yours, but God's. This is the heartbeat of divine warfare, the moment when heaven fights through you, not because of you. You were never meant to conquer through striving, but through trust. Every spiritual victory is won in the unseen, long before it manifests in your visible world. Heaven fights differently. While you panic, heaven plans. While you try to understand, heaven is already executing strategy. The enemy cannot predict heaven's movements because divine warfare is not fought on human terms. It moves through obedience, through stillness, through the whispers of faith that say, even here, God is in control. Do you understand what this means for you? Chosen one. It means that every battle that drained you was already marked for victory, not because of your power, but because of His promise. The storms that scared you were simply cover for the divine armies moving into position. You thought you were surrounded by chaos, but in truth, the enemy was surrounded by heaven. Every tear you cried was recorded. Every sigh you released was counted as a weapon. When you couldn't lift your head, angels were lifting your name. Heaven's intervention isn't dramatic, it's deliberate. It works in silence until the moment victory can no longer be hidden. You felt like you were losing because the battle didn't look like success. But what if heaven's victory doesn't look like your version of winning? What if the brokenness you endured was heaven breaking chains? What if the loss that stung was heaven dismantling everything that once enslaved your peace? Sometimes victory looks like walking away. Sometimes it looks like forgiveness. Sometimes it's the quiet choice to remain calm when the world expects your anger. These are not small wins, they are divine victories. Born from surrender. Sealed by grace. Chosen one. Your silence has been stronger than your shouting. Your restraint has been your weapon. While you thought you were doing nothing, heaven was doing everything. You were being trained to see that power is not always loud. The greatest battles are fought in peace, and the greatest warriors are those who trust even when they do not understand. Heaven has seen your endurance. It has seen the moments when you wanted to give up but stayed anyway. And now, there's a divine announcement echoing over your life. The tide has turned. You no longer need to beg for protection, you are surrounded by it. What once attacked you will now flee from you because heaven has declared you untouchable. You are not a victim of this war. You are the reason it's ending. Your perseverance broke something in the spiritual realm. The enemy's grip has loosened, not because of your might, but because of your unwavering yes to God's timing. So now, rest in the knowing that the outcome is already settled. You don't need to fight to prove anything. Heaven's armies do not lose. The victory has already been written, sealed, and delivered. You will soon stand in places that once terrified you, not as a wounded soldier, but as a witness of what divine takeover looks like. And when people ask how you survived, you'll tell them, I didn't. Heaven fought for me. Chosen one. That is your testimony, not of your endurance alone, but of divine intervention. Heaven has taken command. The war you thought was yours is no longer being fought by your strength. The commander of heaven's hosts has stepped in, and when he fights, every shadow bows. Chosen one. Surrender is not the end of your power, it's the beginning of heaven's authority flowing through you. You have fought long enough in your own strength. Now the divine calls you to a different kind of battle, one fought through faith, through rest, through radical trust. Heaven does not need your exhaustion, it needs your yes. You've been taught that victory looks like endless motion, always doing, always pushing, always proving. But heaven says, be still. When you rest your hands, God raises his. When you release control, divine order takes shape. What looks like stillness to the world is warfare in the spirit. The word of God declares in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. This is not a suggestion, it's an invitation. Heaven doesn't command you to run, it calls you to come closer. Because the power of surrender is not in losing the fight, but in trusting the fighter. Every step of surrender draws heaven nearer. Imagine this. Chosen one, a soldier on a battlefield, wounded and trembling, still clutching their weapon though they can no longer lift it. The captain walks up, gently removes it from their hands and says, You've done enough. I will take it from here. That's what heaven is doing right now. It's taking what once drained you and turning it into something beautiful, something eternal. And while heaven fights your battles, you're called to do one thing: stay faithful. Stay present. Keep your heart aligned with heaven's rhythm. Let your surrender become your strength, because when you learn to trust, you also learn to flow, and when you flow, blessings begin to follow. There's a sacred beauty in partnership with heaven. It's not about force, it's about flow. It's the same way rivers carve through stone, not by strength, but by persistence. Heaven flows through your yes, carving new paths through impossibility. And chosen one, if these words have poured peace into your spirit, let that peace ripple outward. Just as rivers are kept alive by small streams that feed them, this message flows because of hearts that pour back into the current. If you've been touched, consider giving not as an obligation but as worship. Your donation is not a payment. It's a drop of oil in heaven's lamp, keeping the flame of truth burning for others still walking through darkness. Every seed sown here becomes light in someone else's night. If your heart feels led, support this flow. Give what you can from where you are, as freely as you've received. No pressure, no demand, just love turned into action. And while you're here, help this message reach more weary souls. Like, share and subscribe so heaven's voice doesn't stop at your screen. Each click is a spark that travels through the digital wilderness, landing softly on hearts that forgot they were chosen too. This is how you multiply light. This is how heaven moves through modern hands, through small gestures that echo eternity. You may never see their faces, but someone, somewhere will breathe again because you kept the current flowing. So rest tonight in this truth. Surrender is strength, generosity is worship, and peace is your new portion. Heaven fights for you, flows through you, and now, because of your open heart, will reach others like you, weary but chosen, tired yet still believing. Chosen one, thank you for being part of this flow. Your light keeps the river alive. Chosen one, remember, heaven never forgets a heart that gives. Every quiet act of kindness you release returns multiplied in unseen ways. What you pour into light never disappears. It becomes a bridge for others to cross from despair into divine hope. You are part of heaven's unfolding story. And when you close your eyes tonight, breathe knowing this: even your smallest yes shakes eternity. Every offering, every share, every whispered prayer becomes a note in heaven's song. The light you've helped carry will keep burning, guiding the next weary soul home. One spark at a time. Chosen one. Something holy happens when heaven reaches down and takes the weight you once carried. There is an unseen exchange taking place. What you release, heaven replaces. Every burden laid down becomes a doorway for divine peace to enter. Every tear released becomes the soil where new strength begins to grow. You've spent years thinking your worth depended on what you could endure. But heaven says otherwise. You were never meant to prove anything. You were meant to receive. The power of this season is not in striving harder, but in opening wider. You have carried pain long enough. Now it is time to trade it for peace. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old is gone, the new is here. This is your season of divine exchange. Heaven takes what's broken and gives back beauty. Heaven takes confusion and hands you clarity. Heaven takes your weary sighs and turns them into songs of confidence. The miracle isn't in what you lost, it's in what you're about to gain. Chosen one. Can you feel the shift? The anxiety that used to rule your nights begins to lift. The fear that whispered you were not enough starts to lose its voice. Heaven is replacing those echoes with peace that does not depend on circumstance. You have entered a holy transaction, an invisible but undeniable shift. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, heaven deposits new strength within you. Every time you forgive what once cut deep, heaven returns freedom to your spirit. Every time you speak life instead of despair, the atmosphere bends toward blessing. The moment you let go, heaven releases. It is not only your mind that heals, it is your identity that rises. You begin to remember who you are, not the wounded one, but the redeemed one. The light you carry is not fading, it is refining. Heaven is reintroducing you to the version of yourself that pain tried to erase. Listen, chosen one. The past cannot hold you anymore. The chains that once defined your story are breaking even now. You are stepping into newness. It won't always feel loud or obvious. Sometimes the greatest transformations happen in quiet places. The old parts of you will not disappear overnight, but day by day. Heaven will replace what was heavy with what is holy. Do not fear this exchange. You are not losing yourself, you are finding who you've always been beneath the weight. You are being remade by grace slowly, beautifully, divinely. Heaven's restoration is not rushed. It is sacredly timed. You may wonder, why does this still hurt if I've surrendered it? Because heaven often heals in layers. The surface must crack before light enters fully. Let the process continue, even if it feels unfamiliar. The peace you feel growing inside is not temporary. It's the foundation of your next season. You are being clothed in new garments, strength, dignity, and calm. Where there was chaos, now stands confidence. Where there was heaviness, now breathes hope. Heaven is writing begin again over every broken chapter. And soon, those around you will see it. They'll notice your peace before you even speak. They'll sense that something about you has changed, not because of effort, but because of exchange. The light within you has become unmistakable. This chosen one is the divine proof that surrender works. The more you let go, the more heaven fills. You are not empty. You are evolving. The old season has served its purpose. The new one is already unfolding. So if this word speaks directly into your spirit, comment the number 8888 below. That number symbolizes new beginnings, divine renewal, and the eternal flow of heaven's favor. When you type it, you're not just engaging, you're declaring that you've stepped into a new identity, one purified by surrender and crowned with peace. Let your comment be a small but prophetic act, a seed of faith planted in digital soil. Because heaven reads your agreement, heaven responds to your yes. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The exchange has begun. The pain is being rewritten into purpose, and the peace you feel right now is the confirmation heaven has taken over. Chosen one. This is the stillness between storms, the quiet space where heaven teaches you to breathe again. You have been through seasons of intensity, where every day felt like a battle, every prayer felt like survival. But now, the divine rhythm slows, the noise softens, the urgency fades, and you begin to realize that heaven's silence is not absence, it is alignment. There is something sacred about the in-between, the pause between what was and what will be. You might feel forgotten in this stillness, but heaven is closer than ever. When the wind stops blowing, that's when the whisper becomes clear. The stillness is not punishment, it is preparation. Heaven quiets your world so that you can finally hear what has been speaking all along. We find in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." That verse is not a command to freeze, it is an invitation to trust. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of assurance. It is the confidence that God's hand is still writing your story even when the ink seems to pause. Chosen one, when heaven hides you, it is never rejection, it is refinement. You are being refined in the quiet. The silence is shaping your spirit, softening what life made hard, awakening what fear made numb. Every quiet moment is an instrument in heaven's orchestra, playing the melody of your rebirth. This stillness teaches you how to see differently. You begin to notice details you missed before, the beauty in slow mornings, the peace in small victories, the grace in ordinary days. You start realizing that the miracles you once prayed for are not always loud. Sometimes they arrive disguised as calm. Heaven knows you needed this rest. After the fire, there must be recovery. Even warriors need healing. Even prophets need quiet. You cannot run forever on yesterday's strength. Heaven has placed you in this sacred pause to restore what striving drained. The world might call it waiting, but heaven calls it anchoring. You are being anchored in peace so that when the next wave comes, you will not be moved. You will not react in panic, you will respond in purpose. This is where spiritual maturity grows, in the silence that tests your patience and reveals your depth. There's a holy paradox here. While everything around you feels motionless, everything within you is transforming. Seeds grow in silence. Healing happens in hidden places. You don't see the roots forming beneath the soil, but heaven does. It is beneath the surface that true strength takes shape. Chosen one, don't rush this. Do not try to escape the stillness. Many run from quiet seasons because they mistake them for emptiness. But you are learning that stillness is where heaven speaks most clearly. When you stop moving, the spirit starts molding. And as you sit in this quiet, notice how your desires shift. What you once chased no longer calls your name. The things that once consumed you lose their weight. That is how you know transformation has begun. Heaven is rewriting your appetite, replacing noise with depth, distraction with direction. You are being trained to recognize divine peace as your new normal. That peace will become your compass in every decision ahead. You will no longer need chaos to feel alive. You will find life in calm. This is the peace that surpasses understanding, not because it makes sense, but because it stands unshaken when nothing else does. So if it feels like nothing is happening, remember, heaven often does its greatest work when nothing appears to move. The silence of God is never empty. It is full of instruction. The waiting room of heaven is not wasted time, it is sacred construction. Chosen one, keep resting in the stillness. You are not stuck. You are being set. The next movement will come. But for now, your only assignment is peace. Let this quiet become your strength, and you will rise ready, not rushed, but rooted. Chosen one, even when you cannot see it. Heaven is moving on your behalf. There are moments when silence feels endless, when waiting feels like abandonment but beyond what your eyes can perceive. Unseen hands are at work. Angels have been dispatched, assignments have been written, and your name has been spoken in divine chambers. You are never alone, even in the quietest hour. Heaven operates in dimensions that your mind cannot trace. What looks like delay in the natural realm is acceleration in the spiritual one. While you wonder if anything is happening, heaven is arranging everything. There are divine meetings, unexpected alignments, and supernatural protections taking place that will only make sense in hindsight, as the prophet Daniel recorded, chapter 10, verse 12. Since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. From the very moment you prayed, heaven began to move. You may not have seen results immediately, but your faith set things in motion. The delay was not denial, it was divine coordination. Sometimes heaven must shift the entire landscape to deliver one answered prayer. What you interpret as waiting is heaven ensuring that what's coming is stable, protected, and unshakable. Chosen one, do not underestimate the hidden work of angels. They move through ordinary places in extraordinary ways. That unexpected call, the opportunity that appeared out of nowhere, the sudden sense of peace when you should have been anxious, these are traces of heaven's movement. Nothing is random when you belong to divine order. Heaven often works like an artist behind a curtain, painting details long before the unveiling. You, standing in faith, are not waiting for heaven to start. You are waiting for heaven to finish. And when it does, the masterpiece will make you understand why you had to wait, why you had to lose, why you had to walk through seasons that made no sense. There are moments when heaven hides its hand to strengthen your trust. You are learning to walk by faith, not sight. The unseen realm is more active than the visible one. Angels are rearranging, guarding, and guiding though you cannot see their wings. You can feel their presence when you sense peace in the middle of uncertainty. Chosen one, you have to know this: your prayers are never wasted breath. Every whisper of faith travels farther than sound. Heaven stores them like precious fragrance, releasing their power at the appointed time. You may think your words fade, but in truth, they echo through eternity. Even your delays are proof of heaven's care. If every door opened instantly, you would step into blessings unprepared. Heaven closes doors not to punish you, but to protect what it promised you. Every not yet is a mercy in disguise, a pause that keeps the gift from being damaged by premature access. There are divine agents surrounding you right now. You are walking through unseen intersections where heaven and earth overlap. The peace that has carried you through storms is not self-made. It is angelic reinforcement. Heaven's forces are always stronger than the opposition, even when the fight seems invisible. You've felt the weight of warfare, but heaven has already secured the outcome. The delay is not a test of punishment, but of trust. Faith grows when sight fades. You are being trained to believe not because you see evidence, but because you know God's nature. And while you wait, heaven's design is perfecting every detail. The people meant to walk with you are being prepared. The places meant to receive you are being cleared. The provision meant to sustain you is being multiplied. Nothing is forgotten. Everything is timed. The unseen is never inactive. The hidden is never hopeless. Even now, heaven's machinery turns silently, aligning what you prayed for with where you're meant to be. You will soon stand in awe at how effortlessly everything fits the prayers, the pain, the pauses all weaving together into divine fulfillment. Chosen one, trust the invisible. What you cannot see is working harder than you can imagine. The unseen hands of heaven are not delayed. They are deliberate. Every invisible movement is shaping a visible miracle. When the curtain lifts, you will realize heaven was never far. It was simply working quietly, perfectly for you. Chosen one. There is a sacred moment when the illusion of control finally collapses. You've tried to carry everything: outcomes, timing, people, plans, as if heaven needed your hands to keep the world from falling apart. But today, the truth unfolds. Control was never your calling. Obedience was. There is a divine freedom that only appears when you release your need to predict, manage, or understand everything. You've prayed for peace, but peace cannot enter a clenched fist. Heaven cannot pour into a life that's already full of self-dependence. The hands that try to control cannot receive miracles. Heaven speaks softly, yet firmly let it go. The walls that surround your heart are not protection, they're prison. The need to know, to calculate, to secure every detail has become your invisible cage. But heaven never called you to captivity, it called you to trust. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. This is not just a verse, it's a roadmap. When you stop leaning on what makes sense, heaven begins to reveal what is divine. Your surrender doesn't signal weakness, it invites wisdom. You are not losing control. You are exchanging it for clarity. Chosen one, the greatest test of faith is not in storms, but in silence. Can you trust God when you don't understand the steps? Can you obey when the instructions don't align with your logic? That's where heaven proves itself faithful. Every moment of uncertainty is an invitation to lean, not to lead. Heaven's ways are higher, deeper, and often hidden but never wrong. When you release control, peace enters like a river. It fills the cracks that fear left behind. It carries you where your plans could never take you. You've carried a heavy burden trying to make things work, trying to fix what broke, trying to hold together pieces that were meant to fall apart. But now, heaven says enough. The blessing doesn't flow through control. It flows through confidence in divine timing. Look back for a moment. Remember the seasons that didn't make sense until they ended. Remember how every disappointment eventually led to something better, something safer, something sacred. That's the pattern of heaven: confusion first, clarity later. You were never meant to figure it all out. You were meant to follow. You see, faith doesn't erase logic. It simply overrides fear. When you stop demanding understanding, you start receiving revelation. Heaven moves freely through the hands that are open. When you let go, what was once chaos becomes choreography. Chosen one, stop wrestling with what you can't control. Stop replaying conversations, reanalyzing outcomes, reliving what you can't repair. Heaven's grace is strong enough to cover every mistake, every misstep, every moment you thought you ruined everything. You did not ruin the plan, you only revealed how much you need the planner. The sooner you let go, the sooner peace returns. Control is heavy, but trust is light. You don't need to know the next chapter to believe the story will end well. Heaven has already written your conclusion, and it's good. Even now, the chains of control are loosening. The grip that once defined you is softening. Your heart begins to breathe again. What once felt terrifying now feels freeing. That is the power of surrender. So take a breath and whisper it if you must. I don't have to control this anymore. Heaven already has it in hand. If this word finds you exactly where you are exhausted, overthinking, holding too tightly, type this in the comments right now. I trust you. That's it. 3 words. Simple, but powerful. When you write them, you're not just responding, you're releasing. You're saying to heaven, take what I've been afraid to let go of. And heaven always answers a surrendered heart. Chosen one, from this moment on, live lighter, trust deeper, rest easier. What you surrender today becomes the miracle of tomorrow. Chosen one, there are times when heaven seems to delay, when prayers echo unanswered and the silence grows louder than your faith. You begin to wonder if you've been forgotten, if what you asked for slipped between heaven's hands. But the truth is more beautiful than your doubts dare imagine. Delay is not denial, it is divine design. Heaven is not ignoring you, it's perfecting what concerns you. What feels like waiting is often heaven aligning threads you cannot see. Imagine a tapestry, each strand of your story interwoven with others. Colors hidden until the pattern is complete. If heaven granted your request too soon, the picture would unravel before its purpose was revealed. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verse 7, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." Chosen one. Your unanswered prayers are not proof of absence, they are proof of orchestration. Heaven is working backstage while you wait in the audience, rearranging scenery, preparing divine timing, ensuring that when the curtain rises, everything will fit perfectly into place. Every delay holds a purpose. Sometimes heaven slows you down because the road ahead is still being cleared. Sometimes the blessing you prayed for is being strengthened so that it won't crumble under the weight of your calling. And sometimes, heaven delays to protect you from settling for less than what was written in your destiny. Think of a seed in the soil. You cannot see its roots breaking open, yet beneath the surface, life is forming. If you dig it up too soon, you destroy what's growing. Heaven's timing works the same way. Just because it's buried doesn't mean it's dead. Some blessings are hidden because they're sacred. In the stillness, your faith matures. Waiting teaches trust that no quick miracle could ever offer. You learn to stop measuring God's presence by speed and start measuring it by peace. For in the waiting, your spirit becomes strong, patient, and unshakable, the kind of heart heaven can entrust with promise. So, while you wait, keep your hands open. Keep your heart steady. The delay is not to punish you, but to prepare you. And when heaven moves, when that prayer finally breaks through, you will realize why it had to take this long. The timing of heaven is never late. It's always layered with purpose, layered with chosen one. If these words find you in a waiting season, know this: you are not forgotten. The silence around you is filled with motion. Every second of waiting is a brick being laid, a foundation being built, a future being secured. And while you rest in that truth, remember this space, these words, this moment of peace. It exists because someone before you helped keep the light burning. If this message has touched your heart, Consider helping to keep this light alive. Just as a lighthouse stands tall because someone keeps its lamp filled, every gift, every act of kindness becomes oil that fuels heaven's voice to reach others still lost in the storm. Your donation isn't a transaction, it's a torch passed from one soul to another. If your spirit feels stirred, let gratitude guide you. Give not from pressure, but from peace. Let it be a quiet thank you, a ripple of grace that keeps this message flowing into lives that need it most. And if you can't give, your presence still matters deeply, like share and subscribe so others can find the same calm that found you. Every click is a spark, small but sacred. Each share is a bridge, built from your screen to another heart that's breaking in silence. Heaven moves through hearts, not numbers. Each act of support, each gesture of faith, becomes part of the divine ripple. You are not just a listener, you are a light bearer, helping heaven speak through the noise of this world. So then, whether you give, share, or simply pray, do it with love, not because you must, but because you want to be part of something bigger, something eternal. Chosen one. Thank you for standing in the flow of this message, for keeping the current alive, for letting heaven's words reach beyond you. Your generosity in spirit, in heart, in action becomes the fragrance of heaven on earth. And when your own miracle arrives, remember this moment: the waiting was worth it. Heaven didn't delay. Heaven prepared. Chosen one. Not every fire comes to consume you. Some fires come to refine you. You have walked through flames that scorched your confidence, seasons that felt unbearable, and losses that left you standing in ashes. But even in the burning, heaven was present. The same fire that tried to destroy you became the very force that purified you. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every sleepless night was not wasted. Heaven allowed the fire not to end you, but to extract what could not walk with you into the next season. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. The fire did not expose your weakness. It revealed your strength. We find in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2, "When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze." This promise doesn't say you'll avoid the fire. It says you'll endure it. That's the mark of the chosen. You don't escape every trial, but you emerge unbroken. The heat that felt unbearable was heaven burning away fear, doubt, and dependence on everything temporary. The fire made room for faith to take root. There is a sacred beauty in what you've endured. Every scar on your heart is now a testimony. What once made you tremble will soon make you shine. Heaven refines gold by melting it. So too, your trials melted what was superficial until only purity remained. The pain that once defined you has now become your polish. Chosen one, you are glowing differently. It's not the brightness of ease, but the radiance of endurance. Heaven's hand has reshaped you, not through comfort, but through transformation. The very flames that seemed destructive were the chisels that carved out your divine identity. Sometimes you prayed for deliverance, but heaven answered with endurance. You thought God was late, but he was letting the fire finish its holy work. You were never alone inside it, even when you couldn't see him. He stood beside you like he did with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace. The presence of fire was not proof of absence. It was the stage for his glory. Every fiery trial teaches you to stop fearing endings. You begin to see that endings are only transitions, moments when heaven changes form, but never disappears. The same God who let the flames rise also commands them to fade. The same season that tested you will soon testify for you. Look at what the fire has done. You are more discerning, more peaceful, more stable. You no longer chase what doesn't feed your soul. You can stand in places that once broke you and feel no bitterness, only gratitude. That is refinement. That is resurrection. The fire forced you to release what you clung to, and in letting go, you found yourself. You discovered that real peace doesn't depend on circumstances but on certainty, the certainty that heaven never wastes pain. Every tear was currency, every struggle an investment in divine maturity. Chosen one, understand this: refined doesn't mean perfect, it means pure. It means you can carry fire without being burned, hold pain without letting it poison you, and walk through chaos without losing your calm. It means heaven can now trust you with weightier glory because you've proven faithful under pressure. So don't resent the seasons that hurt you. Bless them. They made you ready. The very storms you prayed away became the anointing that rests on you now. The moments that crushed your spirit became the oil that fuels your purpose. And when you look back at all you've survived, you'll see it, the fingerprint of heaven on every flame. You were refined, not ruined, shaped, not shattered, purified, not punished. Chosen one, you are fireproof now. You no longer fear what once frightened you. The same heat that tested you now bows to your presence. You walk forward carrying the quiet authority of one who has seen the flames and lived to tell the story not of survival, but of transformation. Chosen one, every crushing season carries a hidden crown. The weight that pressed on you was never meant to destroy, it was meant to shape you for glory. Heaven does not waste pain. Every pressure, every disappointment, every moment you thought would break you, all of it was forging something divine inside your spirit. You wondered why life became so heavy, why your prayers seemed unanswered while others moved ahead. But heaven whispers now you were being crowned in secret. The crushing was heaven's workshop. Every tear watered the ground of your destiny. Every loss cleared space for something sacred to bloom. The ancient words recorded in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18, declare, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." Chosen one, that glory is beginning to shine. The crown is not made of gold that fades, but of endurance that glows. It is not worn on the head first, but in the heart. The crown of peace, strength, and divine authority begins invisibly, long before it's visible to the world. You are the proof that heaven can turn pain into purpose. The things that once humiliated you will soon honor you. What once felt like punishment will become your platform. People who saw your brokenness will one day see your brilliance and realize heaven was building something the whole time. You have walked through the valley, but you did not die there. You may have stumbled, but you never stopped moving. You kept your faith alive even when it flickered. Heaven saw that the way you stayed, the way you prayed, the way you refused to curse God even when you didn't understand Him. The crushing was never about loss. It was about preparation. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Oil is pressed from olives. Wine comes from grapes that have been crushed. And glory comes from souls that have been surrendered. You were not being punished, you were being processed. Chosen one, heaven now says, rise. The season of heaviness has ended. The ashes have done their work. You carry wisdom now hard-earned, holy wisdom, the kind that cannot be taught, only lived. The weight that once broke you has become your crown. The pain that once silenced you has become your message. And though others may not see it yet, heaven does. Angels recognize you by the glow of endurance. Hell trembles at the sound of your persistence. You are not ordinary. You are anointed through adversity. This next season is not about striving, it's about shining. Heaven will reveal publicly what was shaped privately. The hidden crown is about to be seen. not for vanity, but for victory. Every scar is now a jewel, every hardship, a declaration that you are chosen, tested, and trusted. So, chosen one, stand tall, lift your chin. The fire refined you, the crushing crowned you. You are not a victim of pain, you are the vessel of purpose. Heaven is raising you to remind the world that endurance is not weakness, it is worship. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, declare it with your own hands. Type this number in the comments right now, 999. That number symbolizes completion and divine graduation, the end of one cycle and the beginning of glory. When you write it, you're not just commenting, you're proclaiming, I have endured. I am crowned. I am complete in what heaven began. Heaven reads your agreement. Heaven responds to surrender. This number becomes your seal, a spiritual signature that says, I've made it through the crushing, and I'm ready for the crown. Chosen one, your waiting is over. The crown is already resting upon you. Wear it not with pride, but with peace, because the one who has been crushed and still believes is the one heaven can now trust with glory. Chosen one, the power that now flows through you does not come from constant activity, but from yieldedness. There is an anointing that only rests on still hands that have released control, surrendered outcomes, and chosen peace over panic. You have learned that heaven moves faster with your surrender than you ever could with your striving. You used to believe that doing more meant becoming more. You ran, worked, fought, and chased, thinking that divine favor was earned by effort. But heaven has shown you a gentler truth, one that contradicts the world's logic but breathes with divine rhythm. Miracles manifest in motionless faith. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle Paul in the book of 2 Corinthians through chapter 12, verse 9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. This means that what once felt like failure was actually the moment heaven filled the space you left empty. When you stop trying to sustain what was never yours to carry, grace begins to overflow. You become a vessel rather than a worker, a conduit rather than a controller. Heaven can only pour where human striving has stopped. Chosen one, you are learning to move with the current instead of fighting against it. Divine flow is not lazy, it is precise. It does not rush, it does not force. It follows rhythm, heaven's timing, heaven's whisper, heaven's gentle nudge. When you obey that rhythm, doors open without knocking, favor arrives without chasing, and peace rests where anxiety once lived. You have entered the holy paradox of rest and power. The world celebrates the loud, the busy, the visible, but heaven rewards the quiet, the faithful, the still. When you choose stillness, you create space for the Spirit to breathe through you. You no longer work for God, you work with Him. And in this cooperation, everything begins to shift. The same tasks that once drained you now flow with ease. Conversations that once required courage now flow naturally from grace. Decisions that once brought anxiety now unfold with clarity because heaven directs your steps from within. You've discovered that real strength is not noise, it's knowing. It's the confidence that even when you do nothing, heaven is doing everything. The silence that once made you uncomfortable has become your sanctuary. The stillness that once frightened you has become your strength. Chosen one, your surrendered hands are powerful hands. They heal, they bless, they comfort, not because of what you do, but because of what flows through you. You are no longer striving to be light, you have become light. The presence you carry shifts atmospheres not by force, but by frequency. Heaven is using your peace as a weapon. Your calm terrifies darkness because it proves you are anchored beyond circumstance. You are teaching the world that surrender is not weakness, it is spiritual mastery. The world may not understand it, but heaven celebrates it. Every time you choose rest over reaction, you demonstrate the kingdom's authority. Every time you wait instead of worry, you release divine order into chaos. Stillness has become your superpower. You no longer measure your worth by movement, but by alignment. And now, everything begins to respond differently to you. People feel it when you walk into a room, that steady, sacred composure that says, "Heaven's got this." Circumstances that once intimidated you now bow, because they sense the peace that carries divine permission. Even the unseen realm recognizes your authority. Chosen one, never underestimate the power of a still heart. You are walking proof that heaven moves most in those who rest most deeply in trust. What once required your energy now responds to your presence. You've shifted from laboring to living, from trying to make things happen to allowing them to unfold. This is what it means to be anointed, not just to speak of God, but to move in sync with Him. You are no longer striving for miracles. You are becoming the atmosphere where miracles naturally occur. Your peace is prayer. Your presence is prophecy. So remain in this flow. Chosen one, let your still hands remain open, your quiet heart remain strong. You have found heaven's rhythm, the sacred balance of yielding and ruling, resting and reigning. And in that stillness, heaven moves through you like a steady river, unstoppable, effortless, eternal. Chosen one, there are seasons when the doors you once knocked on begin to open without your touch. The same paths that once resisted you now seem to clear themselves. It is not luck, nor coincidence, it is divine timing unfolding. Heaven has remembered what you forgot. The prayers you buried beneath disappointment are now being resurrected. Every no you once heard was a seed. Every unanswered prayer was quietly gathering strength beneath the surface. You thought you were being ignored, but heaven was simply waiting for the fullness of time, that holy alignment where your heart, your purpose, and heaven's plan meet perfectly. The Word of God declares in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay." Chosen one, that appointed time is approaching, and what seemed lost is not lost at all. It was hidden until you could handle it. Heaven never withholds to hurt you. It delays to develop you. The opportunities that once slipped away were not rejections, but rehearsals. Heaven was training your spirit to recognize what is truly yours. Now the rhythm of release begins. Doors you stopped knocking on begin to creak open again. Not because of persistence, but because you are ready. The same situations that once brought confusion now bring clarity. People who once overlooked you are now drawn to the light you carry. That's what divine timing does. It rearranges perception. Heaven will never give you what you are not prepared to protect. The delay was never punishment, it was preservation. You were being built to sustain the blessing. Every closed door taught you patience, every detour taught you trust, and every disappointment taught you discernment. Now, heaven can open what was once dangerous to you because you've been refined enough to carry it. John, chosen one, do you feel the shift? The waiting that once felt endless now begins to make sense. You start to see the pattern, how heaven's not yet was always a wait and see. You are entering a season where old dreams begin to breathe again. The promises that felt dormant are stirring, awakening from divine sleep. When heaven opens a door, it does so quietly. There is no fanfare, no noise, just a smooth unfolding that feels almost natural. That's how you'll know it's divine. It fits without forcing. It aligns without striving. It flows instead of fights. The peace surrounding it will be your confirmation. Sometimes, heaven reopens a door not to lead you back, but to show you how far you've grown. You'll step into spaces that once intimidated you and realize they no longer define you. What used to consume you now feels too small, because growth has expanded your spirit. Heaven doesn't always restore what was lost. Sometimes, it upgrades what you thought you needed. Chosen one, everything you've endured was preparation for this release. The silence trained your ears. The delay strengthened your faith. The rejection taught you resilience. Now, all those lessons come together, forming a foundation unshakable by circumstance. You have learned the rhythm of divine waiting, and because of that, the rhythm of divine release will carry you effortlessly. There is beauty in divine timing. It redeems what seemed wasted, reorders what felt broken, and rewards what stayed faithful. You will soon look back and say, "Now I understand." The confusion that once clouded you will transform into gratitude. Heaven will prove that it never forgot a single detail, every name, every prayer, every moment of endurance. When the doors open this time, walk through them with grace. Don't rush, don't boast. Move gently, knowing that these openings are sacred, not random. They are not payback, they are purpose unfolding. Heaven's openings are always invitations not to elevate ego, but to expand impact. Chosen one, you are standing at the threshold of fulfillment. Do not fear the unfamiliar. Heaven has already prepared what awaits you beyond the door. Step forward in quiet confidence, remembering that what's meant for you doesn't compete, it calls. And this time, when heaven opens the door, you won't need to knock. You'll simply walk in, knowing it was always yours. Chosen one, you have walked through shadow and silence, through delay and refining fire. And now, heaven calls you something new, a testimony. You are no longer just the one who endured. You are living proof that endurance produces glory. Your story has become a sound heaven uses to awaken others still trapped in despair. You once asked, "Why me now?" Heaven answers, "Because I could trust you with the fire." Every moment you kept believing was writing a testimony that would echo beyond your lifetime. Your scars have become scrolls of grace. Your pain has become prophecy. As it is written in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11, "They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony." Chosen one, your testimony is not just your story, it is heaven's evidence that darkness does not win. Every tear you've shed, every fear you've faced has now turned into a verse heaven recites over you. This one did not give up. You have become a living altar, a breathing reminder that divine love outlasts every storm. Now heaven whispers speak, not always with words, but with presence, with peace, with light. Wherever you go, the air will change. People won't always understand it, but they'll feel it, that quiet strength that says, "I found God in the fire." You are a walking sermon now, not of perfection, but perseverance. Your very existence tells others it's possible to survive what should have ended me. If these words have become a mirror of your soul, if you felt heaven breathing through them, then help keep the flame alive. This space is a sanctuary built not of walls, but of willing hearts. Every message that reaches another soul begins in someone like you choosing to keep the light burning. If your heart feels stirred, let gratitude become your ripple. You can do that by liking, sharing, subscribing, or giving, not as an obligation, but as an offering. Think of it as tending a candle in a long night, one small act, and the flame travels farther than you'll ever know. Your generosity is not currency, it's continuity. It's the whisper that says, "Let others find what I've found here." Each act of support, no matter how small, becomes another lantern along the path for those still walking through the dark. Some will never hear a sermon, but they'll hear this voice. Some will never step into a church, but they'll scroll through despair until a light like this finds them. You are that light's keeper. Whether you give, share, or simply pray, you keep heaven's echo alive in a noisy world. If you've been blessed here, pour that blessing forward, a kind word, a gift, a share, a whisper. Let it come from love, not duty. Before you leave your voice below. Type a few words, even one in the comments, as your echo into eternity. It can be a thank you, a still here, or a whisper of faith. Each comment is like striking a bell in heaven's temple. Together they form a chorus that keeps this message alive. Because every act of kindness here becomes another drop in the river that carries heaven's words farther. You are not funding a page. You are fueling a purpose, keeping a fire lit for the next weary traveler who needs to know that heaven still speaks, still heals, still remembers. So if this message has met you in your moment, let it move you. Like, share, subscribe, let the current continue. And if you feel led to give, let it be your quiet prayer made tangible. Heaven doesn't measure the size of the gift. It measures the sincerity of the heart. Chosen one, your life itself has become testimony, and now you are part of heaven's flow, helping this light reach further, not because you must, but because something inside you knows that truth this tender should never fade. You are the evidence that miracles still happen, the vessel through which heaven keeps speaking. Thank you for carrying this flame, for being both the message and the messenger. Chosen one. This is the season of prophetic rest, not sleep, not stillness alone, but a deeper posture of peace. It is the place where you stop surviving and begin abiding, where faith no longer feels like reaching but like breathing. Heaven is teaching you that rest is not an interruption to your purpose, it is part of it. You once believed that constant motion proved devotion. You thought faith meant always doing, always moving, always achieving, but heaven is showing you something gentler, something holier, that true rest is not laziness, it is alignment. It is knowing that the same God who calls you forward also commands you to pause. We read in the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 14, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." This rest is not found in distance or distraction. It is found in dwelling and staying close to the one who carries you. You are not resting from work, you are resting in the work, trusting that heaven is guiding every unseen detail. The rhythm of divine rest is simple. You breathe, heaven builds. You listen, heaven leads. Chosen one. Heaven doesn't want your exhaustion, it desires your trust. The world glorifies noise and speed, but heaven celebrates stillness and surrender. In this rest, your spirit recovers strength, your thoughts slow, your peace deepens. This is the recalibration of your soul, the holy balance between movement and meaning. You've spent seasons trying to earn peace, as though it were a prize. But peace has never been a reward. It has always been your inheritance. You don't fight for it anymore. You simply return to it, again and again, like a child returning home. Rest is the evidence of faith. When you can sit in uncertainty and still breathe calmly, that is worship. When you stop forcing outcomes and simply trust that heaven is orchestrating them, that is obedience. Every sigh of surrender is a song heaven understands. Chosen one. This rest is not passive, it is powerful. While you rest, heaven renews. Your silence becomes strategy. Your calm becomes command. The stillness you practice becomes the space where revelation grows. Heaven speaks clearer when your spirit stops shouting. There will still be moments when the world tries to drag you back into striving, when anxiety whispers, "Do something," and fear insists, "You're falling behind." But heaven answers, "Stay." Rest is your rebellion against chaos. It is your refusal to live as if the outcome depends on you. Even creation rests. The earth turns without effort. The tides move without panic. Flowers don't beg the sun to shine. They simply open when light arrives. You are part of that same divine order. You are not designed to live in exhaustion. You are meant to move in grace. This rest does not isolate you, it integrates you. As you rest, your relationships heal, your perspective clears. You start to see others not through urgency, but through compassion. You find joy in small things again. Quiet mornings, laughter, the miracle of being present. Chosen one, rest is the most radical act of faith. It declares that heaven is enough, that you are safe even when you don't see the full picture. Peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of God. In this sacred calm, heaven begins to speak new instructions. They are soft, gentle, unmistakable. Decisions become lighter, timing effortless. This is what happens when your spirit stops striving, the noise fades, and heaven's voice grows clear. Rest teaches rhythm. There will be seasons to move and seasons to wait, moments to speak and moments to be silent. The wisdom you gain now will guide you into that balance, to act when heaven says go, and to stay when heaven says wait. So, chosen one, rest without guilt. You are not losing time. You are aligning with eternity. Every pause heaven gives you is a preparation. Every quiet moment is an anointing. You are being restored not to escape the world, but to re-enter it with renewed peace and unshakable purpose. You will walk into future seasons not hurried, but holy. Your footsteps will match heaven's rhythm. Your words will carry calm. And those who meet you will feel it, the serenity of someone who no longer wrestles with timing because they trust the one who writes it. Chosen one, rest now, deeply and freely. Heaven has not paused your story, it is perfecting it. Chosen one, this is the moment of your rising, the reign of the released. The journey that began in struggle now ends in surrender, not as a defeat, but as a coronation. You have laid everything down, and in doing so, heaven has lifted you higher than effort ever could. The power you now carry is not borrowed from striving, it is born from release. You are no longer wrestling with heaven's plan, you are walking in it. The anxiety that once controlled you has been replaced with assurance. The same storms that terrified you now bow beneath your peace. This is the paradox of divine maturity. When you let go, everything begins to align. As the prophet Isaiah declared, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Chosen one, that light has already begun to rise within you. It's not loud or sudden, it's steady, constant, unstoppable. It's the quiet glow of a soul that has found its rhythm with heaven. You don't have to announce it, your peace announces it for you. This is the reign of the released. You are no longer chasing, proving, or begging. You simply are. The blessings that once seemed distant now find you easily because you've become aligned with divine flow. Heaven is no longer something you reach for. It's something that lives through you. You carry an authority now that doesn't demand attention. It is the kind of strength that whispers instead of shouts. The kind of confidence that doesn't compete. Those who meet you will feel it before they hear it, that serenity that only comes from surrender. Chosen one, you've stepped into divine partnership. Heaven moves through your thoughts, your steps, your words. You no longer walk alone. You walk as one who has learned the secret language of grace. Every decision you make now carries heaven's signature. You don't need to chase opportunities. They are drawn to the peace you embody. Everything that once felt fragmented now feels whole. You've discovered that release doesn't remove responsibility, it refines it. You no longer act out of fear but out of alignment. Every movement is measured, every word intentional, every moment sacred. The world will look at you and not understand the quiet power you carry. They'll see the peace and call it passivity, but heaven calls it dominion. They'll see your calm and think you've stepped back, but in truth, you've stepped above. The released no longer compete, they command through rest. You are not chasing favor, you are favored. You are not praying for open doors, you are walking through them. You are not asking for confirmation, you are becoming confirmation for others. Heaven has written its confidence into your presence. Chosen one, this reign is not loud or visible. It manifests in how you handle pressure, how you forgive quickly, how you no longer fight every battle that calls your name. You've learned that silence can be strategy, and grace can be warfare. You've realized that divine authority flows best through gentleness. You will begin to notice how easily things begin to align. People who once misunderstood you will see you differently. The same environment that once resisted you will now recognize you. That is not coincidence, that is divine recognition. Heaven always honors those who have learned to yield. And as you continue to walk, doors will open not through striving but through peace. You will find yourself at divine intersections exactly where you're supposed to be without even trying. Heaven's favor follows rest like the tide follows the moon. Chosen one, you have graduated from merely surviving to reigning not over others but over yourself, your peace, your purpose. You've become the living embodiment of balance, strong yet gentle, still yet unstoppable, silent yet radiant. The reign of the released is not about position but about presence. You have discovered the true crown peace that cannot be shaken, faith that cannot be stolen, and love that cannot run dry. This is your divine inheritance, to live as one who trusts completely, walks lightly, and loves deeply. The throne of your purpose is not made of gold but of grace. You reign not by ruling others but by resting in the one who rules all. Chosen one, stand tall in quiet authority. Let your life continue as worship, your rest as testimony, your peace as prophecy. You have become the proof that surrender is not the end, it is the beginning of everything beautiful. Chosen one, if these words have found you, if they've met you in the quiet corners of your heart, if they've brought you peace when the world offered noise, then this connection between heaven and you has already done its work. You were never here by accident. This was your divine appointment. Now the message becomes movement. Let what you've received become what you release. If your heart has been stirred, share this light, not as an act of routine, but as a gesture of gratitude. Like, share, and subscribe so this flow of peace continues. So others may feel what you have felt, the stillness of heaven speaking through simple words. Each action you take here is more than engagement. It's echo. Every comment, every share, every subscription is like a candle placed in another's window. It tells the weary, there is light still burning. Leave your own mark below. Write a few words, even one in the comments, as a seed of faith, a whisper that says, I am here, and heaven still speaks. Your voice matters. It joins a chorus of other chosen ones around the world, each word a spark that keeps this fire alive. And if you feel moved to give, let your gift be your gratitude made visible. You're not paying for words, you're helping keep a sanctuary lit. Each offering is oil poured into the lamp so that others may find their way home through the same light that found you. So thank you, chosen one, for being here, for believing, for carrying the flame. You are part of heaven's echo. May your peace multiply, your faith deepen, and your kindness ripple endlessly. The light that touched you now travels through you,